So one thing you are really involved in, and I want to get into that, and that's your group, Saving Our Library. Mm-hmm. With everything going on right now, where books are being banned, it seems like you are here at the right time. Why is it important for people to realize you shouldn't ban books?
Well, I mean, look at history. The heroes are not the ones who banned and burned books. Reading, I think, is probably the most dangerous thing on earth if you do not want a democracy, right? Because I know as a child, you had asked earlier about my sense that we need to give back. A lot of that came from reading and seeing models of good behavior in books. And a lot of people think of reading as just some kind of luxury, like, oh, I don't have the time to read. Of course, they have time to be on the computer and watch Netflix, which is, nothing's wrong with that, but you make time to read if it's important to you. And, we know all kinds of things about children and their brain development when they are readers. A fluent reader in childhood is going to develop critical thinking skills that a non-reader will not. And who does it benefit not to have critical thinking, But also, I would encourage people who don't want these books at the library to simply not use the library. No one's making you do it. As taxpayers, we fund all kinds of things that we don't want to fund. That's just the price of being a citizen. And if you're not comfortable with those books being there, then don't let your child go to the library. I mean, they're not driving themselves. Having that open to everyone, no matter what your race, your ethnicity, where you were born, what your income status is, none of those things matter. Everyone can use a library. It serves every single person in the community. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. It's a hallmark of our democracy that we have that. And as a Georgian, I am shocked that they want to pull us out of the American Library Association. I mean, it's such a benevolent, wonderful organization. It's such a great resource for libraries and librarians. And to pull out of that is just incomprehensible to me.
Well, I wonder sometimes if people are pulling books out that they haven't even read, so they don't know what actually is there. And it's very concerning to me because by going to the library, that's how I was able to visit other countries until I was really able to visit other countries.
Right.
It was my chance to move out of Smoketown and be a different kid. So I really support what you're doing and just wonder why at this point in our history, we are trying to remove books.
Well, let's keep in mind that children are incredibly selfish. And when they read books, they understand there's a world outside of them, right? Harold has a purple crayon. Wait, I've got a purple crayon. There's more than one in the world, right? So, and particularly if you're in a community where you feel isolated or not many people are like you can find that weird little kid in a book, and that helps. And, I think it's just so important to make sure that everyone has access to reading, and to not want that is anathema to being in a democracy.
Well, I think about kids anyway. Most of them are reading whatever they want to read on their phone.
Right, yeah. But, it's interesting because parents sometimes say, I'm worried if my kid reads this book, it will make them a certain way. Well, we've all had access to the Bible. It hasn't made us wonderful, caring people.
Amen.
So if they think their child is that subjective or susceptible to reading something and it's changing their whole way of life, then I encourage you to keep your child away from the library, but don't take it away from our children and other people who want to read.
Well said.